When I was a kid back in the 80s, I encountered a bizarre French cartoon. It was about a young robot who lived with humans and fought bad robots. His name was Astro Boy, and it was only a decade later that I realized it was actually a Japanese cartoon. This was my introduction to anime, and the Osamu Tezuka created series still holds a special place in my heart today. The story about a soulless man-made automaton given the ability to feel emotions and grow would become a trope that I always enjoyed immensely, and that has followed me through my entire life. Lieutenant Commander Data in Star Trek The Next Generation, the replicants in Blade Runner, Cosmos in Xenosaga, the idea of machines striving to be humans just triggers something in me. Needless to say, anime has a lot of this, and I have been a fan of the art form since I was literally a 6-year-old. Enter 2019. Your boy is grinding out some achievements for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive Classic Collection on Steam, and browsing Netflix for something to play in the background. I found an anime called Little Witch Academia. I had heard that it was a fun show, so I threw it on to keep me distracted, while I tried to have fun playing Streets of Rage 3. No, really, it is a very poorly balanced game with bad music. By the end of the first episode, I knew I was a fan. I then watched another half-dozen episodes and had loads of fun. Cute witch girls going to school and learning magic. It's like a magical girl anime Harry Potter, but without all the neoliberalism of J.K. Rowling. Once I finished my menial tasks at hand, I decided to see if there was a Little Witch Academia game on Steam. I could have sworn I had heard previously that there was indeed a tie-in game for the series. So I did a quick search, and there it was. Little Witch Academia Chamber of Time. And it was on sale too. Thank you, Steam Autumn Sale. I installed it right away and donned my robes and wizard hat. Gameplay is broken up into 2 modes. Like most RPGs, there is a town mode and a dungeon mode. Town mode takes place inside Lunanova Magical Academy, a school for young witches where our hero, Akko, and many other side characters from the anime attend. Dungeon mode takes place, spoilers I guess, inside the titular Chamber of Time. Inside Lunanova, you can freely move around and interact with other characters, and this is where a lot of the enjoyment for me comes from. The character interactions in this game are absolutely great. Doubly so if you are a fan of the anime. All of your favorite characters like Lotte, Susie, Amanda, and Diana all make an appearance and are all voiced by their Japanese voice actors. Dialogue is fun and charming, character models and voice acting are very expressive, and I found myself just wandering around talking to everyone. There are even fun recaps of each of the main casts from the anime, complete with screen caps and their backstory. And on top of that, there are new and amazing animated scenes, and they look just as good as the TV show. The only thing I'd change here is an inclusion of the English voice actors as well as the Japanese voice actors. I know a lot of people prefer their weeaboo games and shows to have the original Japanese, and I am totally cool with that, but I am a dirty dub boy and almost always choose English dialogue. But still, this is a minor grievance as the Japanese cast is just that good. Dungeon mode is a lot like Streets of Rage. Yeah, seriously, it's a side-scrolling 2D beat-em-up. I know, how weird and cool is that? You wander through various battlefields inside the Chamber of Time and beat up on enemy baddies with an assortment of magic attacks that are pulled off just like you're playing Streets of Rage or Final Fight. You control Akko directly and have lots of different attacks to choose from, plus Lotte and Susie follow you around and engage the enemy through their own AI routine. And shortly after the game begins, Diana and Amanda and Constance and Yasminka also all join your party, and you can swap them out into whatever combination you want. Personally, Amanda, Diana, and Akko is what I go with. Choosing Amanda as your main playable character gives you a bonus of double money and double experience at the end of a dungeon, And she's got this really sweet jumping, flying, multiple kick attack that is pretty fucking cool. Leveling up your characters in dungeon gives you experience points, which will increase your level. And after you exit the dungeon, if you've leveled up, you can use skill points given to you to increase your stats. Someone like Akko, who's not very magical, prefers strength. Amanda prefers strength. Someone super magical, like Diana, prefers intelligence. So you really want to balance your characters. Potentially have one really good fighter, one really good magic user, and for your third character, just pick and choose something that suits your style. You also have weapon and item drops. Whenever you are in a dungeon and you engage an enemy, when you defeat them, odds are they're going to drop something nice and shiny for you. Whether that's a magical staff, a magical armor, a magical ring, a magical armband, or just some sort of other item, by the time you exit the dungeon, you're literally going to have a pile of loot to dig through, to equip your characters with and make them just that much stronger. The gameplay is pretty cool, but admittedly the mechanics of actually fighting the enemies are a little bit clunky. It's definitely serviceable, but it's not tight like Streets of Rage. But, that's okay, I guess. The non-dungeon gameplay is fantastic, and I think a lot of the people who will play this game are only going to do it for the interactions with characters from their favorite Japanese anime. Sound effects are decent. They are very stock cartoon sound effects, like just about anything you'd hear off of just some random cartoon on the TV. But the music itself is top-notch. Loads of entertaining and whimsical tunes to accompany you as you explore the school and dungeon. It's like the soundtrack version of Sundays and Cupcakes. Ultimately, your enjoyment of Chamber of Time is going to hinge on whether you like Little Witch Academia or not. If you are a fan of the anime, then definitely check it out. If you haven't watched the anime or read the manga, but you do like anime, especially magical girls and slice of life, you'll still probably enjoy the game. The game does a good job of introducing the characters to a new audience without being too obtuse about the content. Finally, if you're not into anime, just skip this game. Chamber of Time might not win any awards, but it's bright and charming with warm and delightful characters. Now, don't mind me, I have spells to cast.